Without further ado, let's give a big round of applause to our panelists, Dian Martin, Chairman Indonesian AI Association. Please join me on stage, Pak Dian Martin, and take your seat right there. Yes, on the second chair. And next up, we have Erikman Pardamean, Chapter Secretary, ISACA Indonesia. Good afternoon, Pak Erik. Please take your seat. And next up, we have Andre S. Susanto, Chief Technology Officer, Quantum Power Asia. Selamat sore, good afternoon Pak Andre. Please join us on stage. And the last panelist is Oktoria Darmawan, Solution Architect, Alibaba Cloud. Hello, Pak Oktoria, please take your seat. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, this session will be led by our moderator, Cynthia Susanto, Marketing Cloud Account Specialist. Please take your seat, Ibu Cynthia, and without further ado, over to you.
So welcome everyone. Thank you for staying with us. I know we're quite late in the session. So the topic for the panel today, as AI continues to transform the way businesses operate, it also brings new security challenges and opportunities in a way, and that's what we're about to discuss this panel with several experts here. I'm just gonna pass it over to them to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? My name is Dian Martin. I'm the chairman of Indonesian AI Association, and we are focusing on building AI talent in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Erikman from ISACA Indonesia, representing the association and also working in the BDO Indonesia. And right now, ISACA Indonesia will become one of the associations who are focused on the IT governance and also to support the implementation of AI governance here in Indonesia. Thank you.
My name is Andre Susanto. I'm probably the odd man out here. My company, Quantum Power Asia, we're more of a user of AI and AI augmentation in our systems. We really develop renewable energy projects, but we do use AI throughout our processes. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is Mawan. I'm from Alibaba Cloud, so I'm your friendly solution architect actually. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you, Pa. We have the perfect person to discuss this topic today. So my first question will be to Pak Dian. So Indonesia has ambitious aspirations for becoming a major digital economy by 2045. Looking at AI adoption across enterprises today, what is the biggest misconception leaders still have about AI resilience? And what capabilities should CEOs be building now if they want the organization to remain competitive over the next decade?
We think the biggest misconception is AI resilient considered as a procurement problem. So we just buy the solution. We are buying better models, buying more computational power. But underneath of that, there is a deeper human misconception where leaders avoid to see the downside of AI. Because seeing the downside of AI seems like betraying your own conviction on AI adoption. That is what we see. And then the downside of AI has been documented. For example, last month, founders are sleeping in the office in the Silicon Valley, not because of they're lazy, but because they need to babysitting the AI agent. Because the AI agent keep on asking, do I need to continue this task? And the founders cannot help themselves to answer that one. And the MIT researcher just found that There is the AI cognitive debt. The first one, they call it AI burnout. And the second one is they call it cognitive debt, where if we are overusing AI to outsource our thinking capability, our ability to find idea and solution, our brain will be less smarter in the future. And the third one, the third problem we saw is about the chatbot that becoming emotional dependence by people. So people become emotionally dependent by AI chatbot companion. And this is a very big problem. That's why next week, China government will regulate a new regulation on AI companion chatbot. They said if you make one of your user becoming emotionally dependent to your chatbot, you will be fined 400 million per user. That's why yesterday, ByteDance and also Alibaba just stopped their service on chatbot that can you make by your own preferences. So we propose 3 solutions. The first solution is, I think governance is very important. We need to create our governance to use AI in our own company. Because after talking and then speaking to so many companies, they not yet have what is the governance in their company. So if we cannot answer who monitor the AI, if we cannot answer if there is data leakage, if there is AI agent who refuse to do what you give them and then doing something bad, what will be your solution if it happens? And who will shut it down when the problem is coming? If we cannot answer that, that is not AI resilient. The second solution is, we are now becoming the AI user. One of the biggest AI user in the world is Indonesia. But I think we need to move from AI user to becoming AI talent. What do we mean by AI talent is those who can manage the downside and the upside of AI. That's why for the past 12 months, we association, AI association, we train and certificate 598 Indonesian central bank staff, and then training AI for OJK, big industry, and 100,000 college students from 120 universities to become someone who can manage the upside and the downside of AI. The third problem is that rarely discussed in many meetings is about mental health, AI burnout, and about the cognitive debt. If we use AI, we need to redesign the company flow, the company work system, where we need to thinking that our team might become faster but become slower at the same time. Within 2 years, maybe after we are using excessively and with not discipline, maybe we'll be reducing our brain capacity. By saying this, I'm not saying that we need to stop using AI. No. What I mean is we need to put back human in the center of the AI game. I think that's it.
Thank you, Pa. So at least it put us in an ease of mind that AI is not here to replace us, but it's to make our job easier. But of course, the use of it has to come with a lot of guardrails and security in mind. So my next question will be for Pa Erikman. Many organizations invest heavily in AI capabilities, but far less in AI governance, because obviously with AI, the game is making life easier and jobs faster. So in your assessment, what are the most critical governance gaps in Indonesian enterprise should assess and address today to avoid becoming tomorrow's headline breach on compliance failure?
Thank you. Before starting, maybe I would like to greet two of my big boss, Bang Harun, the one who came from the ISACA Indonesia chapter, President. Bang, thank you for coming. Also, Pak Ciwi there from the companies. Thank you for coming. Okay, again, related to the point that you mentioned previously, again, the AI adoption against the AI governance, right? Okay, for this matters, right now we see lots of companies adopting the AI, and also the pace is very quick. The pace is very quick, but not followed by the govern the AI itself. So, based on my experience talking with some industry expert, came especially from the banking part, the financial sector, the insurance, I found that there are at least three biggest gaps in my view in regards to the AI governance for the time being. The first thing related to the AI accountability. We found no accountability or less accountability, like you mentioned previously, Pak. Secondly, related to the no visibility or less visibility. And the third point related to the governance itself, the policy, the procedure. The accountability, why it's more important in my perspective, there are lots of people from the department, from the division, say that we already use the AI use case in our processes. But later when we talk about the risk, who are the one who own the risk? Nobody raised the hand. And why it's more important to define the ownership of the AI, since it will lead to the risk. Who are the risk owner? They are the one who are capable or accountable to manage the risk, to mitigate the risk, to put the proper control to ensure that the AI agent is still linked to the objective. Yeah. And secondly, when we talk about the visibility, I think when we need to get back a bit in the information security era, Bapak Ibu, we see that the lack of visibility leads to problem to the companies. The same happen right now in the AI era. No visibility means problems to the management, since you cannot govern what you can't see, something like that. And the third point, I think it relates to the governance itself. Basically, we see a lot of adoption from the industry, but a bit lack in the implementation of AI governance itself. The policy, the procedure, the structure, and maybe secondly, related to the point mentioned by you, Pak, about to put human in the loop. I think that's my favorite point in the governance. And maybe that's the three biggest gap I found in the industries about AI. Over to you.
Thank you, Pak, for the insights on that. Well, the two experts here says that we do need human to guardrail this still. So I think AI, they cannot run alone, for sure. There needed to be human validation components on that. So moving on, I'm moving on to Pak Andre, who has been using AI to help him. The way when we chat, he said that, no, I don't like the notion saying that AI is replacing jobs, but it makes my job easier. So that's how he packaged it previously. So the questions right now is, as AI workloads continues to grow exponentially, resilience is no longer just a software challenge. It becomes an infrastructure challenge. And what investment you think should enterprise or company prioritize today to ensure their technology foundations can support AI securely and sustainably, most importantly?
It depends. Because at our level, where we're mostly a user of AI, we don't need to build that infrastructure. We'll just hand it over to Alibaba Cloud and say, I'll just rent a whole bunch of computers from you. The AI computing systems from you will just connect with all the different APIs we need to go to, right? So for us, that is the most resilient way to do it, right? They have their backup power, they have their backup servers, etc. So when you're at that level, don't even think about it, right? It's not your job. My job and other people at my level, the size of the company that we do, our job is to do our job better, right? It's not to worry about this stuff. Let them worry about that stuff. But when you're a little bit higher, when you're like, I used to work at Mercedes, and when you're at that level, and it's a global company, it's hundreds of thousands of people working, perhaps you need to take in some of that internally rather than handing it off to somebody else all the time. So that's when you have to start thinking about that. But the number of companies in Indonesia and maybe even Southeast Asia who need that, in my opinion, is very few, right? It's probably 20 companies that need to be at that level now. So I think that question needs to be balanced, right? What do you need the AI for? Do you need the resilience to be internal to you? Or do you need it to be, or can you focus on what you do? Like I said, we do augmentation, AI augmentation. We augment our work with AI rather than replacing jobs. Although there are some jobs that we have replaced. GIS analysis, we no longer need, too many GI analysis these days because that's very data heavy. I can put in raw data without even a GIS software, and I can even put it on AI and say, can you do this for me based on this raw data? It can. So again, please be careful about what you use AI for, what level of AI do you really need versus what it is that you're using it for.
Thank you, Pa. So it really differs from enterprise and their sizes, and also one consideration that you mentioned also, whether to give it to a vendor or build it, invest it yourself. So here we have Pa Oktoria from Alibaba Cloud that was being pointed by Pandri. Now I have a questions for you. Cloud platforms are becoming the backbone of enterprise AI adoption. From your experience working with organizations across industries, what are the most common mistakes when it comes to scaling AI initiative from pilot projects to mission-critical operations?
Interesting question, actually. So, based on my experience, AI is just an instrument, right? It's a technology instrument. So, basically, many people just focusing on LLM itself. US model, Chinese model, they treat it like a toy. AI is not a toy. It will help you to scale your ideas, actually. So when they treat AI like the toy, basically they don't prepare for production, actually. So they just try, feed some data, and then magic happen, right? But they forget about the security itself. They forget about the infrastructure layer. They forget about the data layer. They forget about network layer. And I think when you adopt and adapt the AI technology, you need to make sure your data is stay in yours. So basically, security is the biggest issue right now, instead of the AI itself. Yeah, so I agree with Pak Dian, actually. Human must be the center of the AI, actually. Even though we see agentic AI, harnessing AI, it will be automatically deliver the solution, but you need a human sense to filter all that kinds of situation, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, the reasoning should be made well aware, let's put it that way. And so back to Pak Dian, many organizations are moving quickly from experimentation to enterprise-wide, while Pak Octavian said that a lot of them are doing it, just to test and try. But today we see a lot of organization is actually putting it in production for the real job. And In your view, what separates companies that are merely using AI from those that are genuinely becoming AI ready? And they called AI native organizations, probably. And how does resilience become a competitive advantage in that transformation itself?
A new lingo, AI native, promotional lingo. This is sound nice, sound good, but I think that lingo is not quite right. I think still it should be AI and human native. It seems like the idea is to put away human from the loop. To put away, because the promise of technology is the more you can reduce the workforce, it's better. The promise is like that. I don't agree with that. For example, one-man billion-dollar founders right now become very famous, that idea. But I don't think, because people want to put away human from the loop, from the game itself. Not only we are becoming a mandor, you know, in Indonesia, ya jalan atau enggak gitu ya. Not only like that, but if we forget about our humanity of why do we think and how we actually found an idea, that is the biggest problem. So there is a very big data from 4,000 company. They think if they after they use AI, they will have more time. But it turns out the email, right? It's become double, 104%. And the overtime in weekend increasing 40%. So what happened? AI is not reducing your job. It speed up your productivity. You will be working more and more, not less work. Because the boss, they will be contacted very oftenly by the team. Boss, it's already finished. What do you think, boss? Is it okay? Okay, this is good. Now continue for another project. There will be no holiday, man. That's what will happen. That is the true worst thing that's happening right now. We should know and we should understand, for example, there is a good case study in IKEA, where IKEA employ a chatbot, but 53% of the conversation is not solved by the chatbot. What they do, they were not, because of the chatbot is already saved IKEA for 13 million US dollar. But they do not ask the wrong question. What is the wrong question? The wrong question is, oh, my AI is only perform for 47%. We need to increase to 70%. No, their question is not that. Why they were not performing? And then they look at the data and they found out there is a new opportunity for their business. And then they create the business from that 53% unsolved chatting. They found a new business and it brings them 1.3 billion US dollar by 8,500 call center worker. So this is what I think as an AI native. Please be careful with this lingo, because everyone seems want to get rid out the human from the loop. Human is the center of the game of AI. We are want to advancing our humanity, not AI. This is very important. So everyone, if your company start using AI, I can see from the result of your overtime. If your overtime is increasing, it means you're already using it and you already become a native AI. I think that's from me.
Thank you, Pa. So we see how AI can bring a lot more opportunities in terms of business, and how human is now pushed to work towards something more strategic and fruitful, let's put it that way. So for Pa Erikman, historically, now going back to security, cybersecurity focus on protecting systems and data. With generative AI, organizations must now also protect decision, models, and digital trust. How should boards and executives rethink enterprise risk management in this new reality?
Thank you. So, according to the enterprise risk management concept, I think if from my perspective, there are three phases. The first phase, when the ERM or enterprise risk management founded, they protect the business from the processes side. They try to mitigate the risk related to the process. Second phase, the cyber era, the digital era, they protect the business from they mitigate the risk on the system, the application, the infrastructure, and the most important, on the data, like you mentioned previously, Bu. And right now, when AI when they implement, we saw lots of use case like maybe in bank, in our friends who came from the bank, AI helped them to decide who will get the credit, who will get the bank loan. Maybe a second use case from the human resource, AI helped them to recruit, to pick the one to recruit. And I think the most use case right now, AI help the business executive to decide, to make a decision, to make a strategic decision. So in the third phase right now, when AI are already implemented there, AI governance need to be there, and I think there need to be switch point of view from protect the system, protect the data, to protect the models, I think. The AI models need to be protected to ensure there are no bias decision, there are no supported by the transparent decision and etc. Like in lots of AI governance principle are there, and also protect the business. And I think the last important to protect the customer trust itself. Yeah. So as my conclusion, I think it a good thing right now for the time being to bring the AI literacy point to the board. Yeah. So the decision maker have a proper understanding about what AI can do and what they can use it to maximize the business safely. Yep, I think that's.
Also, maybe how to make sure that the AI generate the right things without hallucinating or, producing the wrong thing that we don't want. So, right. So now back to Pa Andre. From the energy sector. So critical sectors such as yourself, energy, manufacturing, and utilities are increasingly integrating AI into operational environments. How do organizations balance the need for innovation with the need to maintain operational continuity and resilience when failure is simply not an option?
It's, again, we have to put AI in its place, right? One of the things I keep telling my team is that we can be slower than AI, but we cannot be dumber than AI. Because AI and machine learning forever have done our job much, much, much faster. But really, let's limit it to that, right? It cannot think for us, really, beyond a certain level, right? Yes, it looks like it's making insights for you out of the data, but it's really making inferences out of the tokens. Usually this token connects with this, et cetera, but it doesn't really have the human element, right? And the human element that I really want us to remember is this: AI is not afraid to get fired. How often do you say, how come you made this mistake, in your AI? Oh, I apologize. You're right. How often do you see that? All the time, right? If we have an employee who keeps making mistakes and doesn't improve and continue to make mistakes, we would have fired them, right? They would improve because they don't want to be fired. AI doesn't do that, right? So if we don't put them in their place and just assume that, oh, AI can do this because it's AI, because it's intelligent, forgetting the A in front of it, things that we gave it things to do will fail, right? because it's going to miss things that are the human elements about it, right? The data is the data, but it doesn't see that it has no context outside of what it's seeing. One quick story here. We were looking at a feasibility study of a solar PV power plant. It's supposed to be generating $30 million a year, blah, blah, blah. 300 page of all of the studies. When we were looking at it, it was like, how do you get these numbers, right? And those numbers are supposed to have external references, right? External references as in you analyze it in the study, but then it's an independent source is where that number comes from. I couldn't find it on my own. I put it on AI. I was like, please find the reference for this number. I did that for several factors. And this is they want us to acquire it for $70 million, by the way. 0 external references. Everything is internal referencing. And then that's when I realized that document, 300 pages, 100% AI generated. All it asked for was, please generate a study that does this. We even looked at the financial model that it gave us. It looks great, it gives great pictures, but you know where the numbers come from? Manually entered, with no references, for a $70 million project, right? So again, so when you look at, when things can't fail and we give AI jobs to augment our job, to maintain those infrastructures, that's what we have to be careful with. What is it that is really should remain our job, and what is it that could be augmented by AI? We just have to make that difference.
Thank you, Pak. So back to Pak Tarya. As organizations pursue AI transformation, there is often tension between speed, security, and cost efficiency. How can enterprises design AI architecture that remains scalable and resilient without sacrificing governance or innovation? Because keeping governance intact is always a huge cost, usually. So yeah, would love to hear from you on this.
Yeah, it feels like a trap question, right? You choose 2 out of 3, right? But in my case, just do smart architecture. We need speed, we need to reduce the cost, also we need to protect the environment and everything else. So just do the smart architecture. I mean, in Alibaba, we do have a lot of models that we can choose. Let's say if you need to adopt a complex reasoning prompt, we can choose Quen Max or Quen Plus. If you need to choose the lowest one, we can choose the less parameter, which is Quen Flash and everything else. So basically, we just need to adjust the ecosystem itself. But my suggestion is start small, do the POC or POV, create the use case that will deliver the impact to your business ideas, and then you can scale to everything you want actually. So that's the things how we do the architecture. And several cloud providers usually deliver you the coupon to try. So make sure you also ask them if if you want to adopt the AI. Usually we deliver the coupon also, so you can try it. And basically in Alibaba, we give you 1 million token actually. So just start from small and then smart when you do architecture. Yeah.
So make sure that it runs well in the sandbox before putting it on production. So yes, I think that's the end of the panels. Just trying to conclude what we've been discussing. So number 1 is AI without human is not possible. Second is, I think we know AI, we've been using AI. I've run a lot of my work through ChatGPTs, Geminis, and all those jazz. But when it comes to using this technology for enterprises, operations, for the real world and the real businesses, really a lot of things needed to be taken care in the base layer, from architectures to governance. So thank you so much, Pa, for giving us those insights, and hopefully it will be useful for Bapak Ibu sekalian when it comes to implementing AI in your enterprises and companies.